three guys sitting in a dark room that smells like bad cucumbers.
Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Inconceivable!
Now featuring 11 listeners.
This is the Unique Geek.
You slimy scumbag, get on your face and give me 25.
This is the Unique Geek.
And welcome to another edition of 50 Days of Dragon Con, the podcast that is still going, I guess. And Bill says yay. So those of you watching will note that my lovely co-host Lee is not here. She's a little under the weather, having well, she's under the weather. Let's just put it that way. So I have no fancy intros. I have no updates. I have nothing because I rely on Lee to do that. And I've been driving for about 8 hours today. So it I didn't get any time to do any prep. So, but I was driving down roads, and roads are involved in what the person we're going to talk to today. So I guess she knows a lot about traffic. Annie from the
I know a lot about shutting down traffic since
There you go.
we want to have a parade in the middle of it.
Annie, of course, what is your official title? The director of Dragon Con
Director
Parades?
of the parade. Dragon Con.
Yay! Right there. Oh yeah, it says it right there on your little sign there.
Ratings overrated.
Well, I went to public school, so in Pinellas Park, Florida. So education in Florida is the second priority. Anyway, so enough of the second's really high for what it really is here. Anyway, Annie, thank you for joining us. You've joined us every year since you became director, and we appreciate that. So for those that don't know, what is the Dragon Con Parade?
Dragon Con Parade is in my opinion, the largest and best event during all of Dragon Con. It's actually available to the public, so you don't have to have a Dragon Con badge to come. So anybody that just wants to dabble in nerdom or see a parade or have a good time, they're all welcome to come out. We march down Peachtree Street in Atlanta, which is the Peachtree Street in Atlanta. There's a lot of them. It gets a little confusing, but not Peachtree Avenue, just Peachtree Street. And
is it the only street that's named Peachtree? Or is all the rest of them Avenue and Boulevards?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so it is the only street
within Atlanta. If you go outside of Atlanta, there's other.
Then you go into other. Okay.
Yeah,
so you mean like
special? So.
All right. So you march down Peachtree.
We do, and you get to see the best and the best of everyone's cosplays, apart from the masquerade. Obviously, masquerade's very important. A lot of judging there. A lot of not
Peachtree Industrial
Boulevard. No, that's in like Norcross. No, we don't mention that.
So you're marching down the street.
So we get to see the best costumes, but the best thing about the parade that you get nowhere else in the rest of the convention is that you get to see vehicles as well that are all decked out in all kinds of nerdy ways. We get everything from our classic, like the Bluesmobiles and the Jurassic Park Jeeps, and then we also get weirder things like pirate ships and flying spaghetti monsters. It's a mix mash, and it's just fun, and it's such a great family-oriented event that if your kids are nerdy and you're not so much, and you don't know if you want to spend all that money on Dragon Con, because it can be expensive, especially for a con. It's up there, but anybody can come out and witness this. And even if you can't make it, we stream it, and it's live. So
yes. It's broadcast locally too, right?
Absolutely. Locally on the CW, channel 69, LOL. And then, of course,
it's a funny number.
I don't know why. Why is that number funny? No.
Well, because anyway, so Annie,
family-friendly parade.
as Bill says,
nice.
Yes. So we were talking a little bit beforehand, and next year is a big, is a traditionally big anniversary. So how many years has the parade been going on?
This is our 24th year, which means next year is the big 25.
25.
Backwards.
Wow.
25, whatever order that works on the camera. 25. So that's going to be our silver jubilee. And I'm very excited about it. We've already started talking about what to do.
Are there's some special plans that you have?
Special plans already in the works. We haven't even gotten through 24.
Well, I mean, that's how Dragon Con works. I mean, literally the con for most Dragon Con directors starts the Wednesday after Dragon Con.
Yeah.
Because Tuesday is the time that they get to sleep all weekend for the last 5 days. So then Wednesday, when they wake up, they have to start planning for
next year. Yeah. And we're already ahead of the game on that because we want to go big. We want to have a big party. We love having the privilege to shut down the.
Yeah. Next year, Bill Price points out that the parade can rent a car.
It can.
And Jerry points out that the parade is old enough to be a college grad, which means he's old.
We're all old now.
Okay, I'm sorry. So you're planning for next year already, and some cool new features. So we've talked about this in the past that it's like we believe it is the biggest in the Southeast, possibly. Well, not. I mean, when you give me the numbers, it sort of rivals Macy's to a degree. I mean, I understand that Macy's is got much bigger balloons and everything else, but the reality is for the size of the con in the area that you're in, it is a huge parade. How many participants do you normally have in the parade? And what is your cap, I guess?
Our cap is 3,500, and we actually asked really nicely, and we finagled just over that 35. So it's going to be jam-packed this year. And then we have 50 vehicles in the parade again, and we're trying to sweet talk and get permission to let 5 more in. So we are cramming everybody we can into this parade to make sure as many fandoms are represented and that as many people that want to be in the parade can be in the parade. But it's hard because we open that registration February 15th of every year. So this year, it took about 2 months to fill up, which is a very long time for us, but our vehicles filled up in about 3 weeks.
Oh, wow.
So mark your calendars if you want to march for next year. If you want to be a part of the Silver Jubilee, you got to sign up February 15th. As of now, that link goes directly to the Dragon Con Parade Facebook group. We are working on some new non-social media ways of getting that link out to people because there are, of course, people that aren't on it, and I envy them. I wish I didn't have to be, but that's okay. I do it for you guys.
So you're looking at maybe your own website within Dragon Con or outside Dragon Con. Yes.
Fingers crossed.
Jerry points out that Macy's doesn't have a Jawa Sandcrawler or another world float, so we win. Is a Jawa coming back?
The Jawas are coming back.
Oh, that thing is so huge. I remember the first year they brought it, and I think pretty much everyone was standing around going, there is no way this thing is making it down to the end of the road. There's no way it's getting put together. We're like, how?
They brought it in pieces to staging, and we didn't know what it was going to look like.
Yeah,
and
it was crazy.
We had them. Hi, Sarah. We had them setting up inside the staging area with all the regular marchers because we thought it was just going to be pretty much a standard size vehicle.
Right.
Which if you've ever been near the staging area, it's a parking lot of a church that is 2 layers, but there's a gate that you have to drive through with, concrete medians, and only a standard size vehicle can get in there. And we didn't know how big it was going to be. Long story short, they now stage on the road. Because it was a bit fun getting it out during the parade. Because the parade is already happening at this point that first year. That Star Wars is one of the last groups to go traditionally. So it was very nerve-wracking. But we got it, and they've come back every year since. And they always have a fun little theme that they throw on to the Sandcrawler. So I'm very excited to see what theme they're bringing this year because they have not told me yet. So we'll see.
Now that first year, I think you were you had to be over there in that area to try and get them out too, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because
you were a lot of yelling and going, no.
Yeah, you were the director at the time, and so you were her second, and you were trying to wrangle everybody to get everybody out. I remember you ran all
Exactly. I
over the
was in
place trying
charge
to
of
get.
vehicles specifically
Yeah.
at the time. So it
Yeah.
was, whew, but we did it. And they still came back. And that's what really matters.
I think there was a kitty sighting somewhere.
Yes, there's one hiding right here. There was one on the floor earlier. I'm surprised they haven't fought yet. I'm sorry if they do.
Is now that purple dragon isn't a Dragon Con dragon, is it?
It is not. This
I was
is a
gonna say-
Disney dragon. This is
That's
Figment.
Figment. Okay, that's what I thought it was. I was just you sleeping.
The
I was-
others are. But
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I noticed the other ones. I just didn't. So Sarah points out they think that their theater group's theme song this year is "Don't Rain on My Parade."
that's a good one.
So that's a good one. Now, that's a good time to bring this up. The short of disastrous weather, the parade goes on, rain or shine. Correct?
Rain or shine.
Yeah.
We pray to our patron saint, Jan Price the Great, and hope that she smiles upon us and gives us sunshine and cool breeze.
And cool breeze. That's always nice. It's always good to have a parade morning where it's overcast,
Yes.
not raining, and there's just a nice breeze coming through, because that is a lot of time, a lot of walking for some of these folks to do in full costume.
Absolutely.
down
And bless them. Thank you for coming out and marching and all of that. I appreciate it. It looks so good every time. It is worth all the struggle, but I really do hope you guys get that breeze and not rain. Could you imagine walking down the street in like Stormtrooper, like 501st, and it's just pouring
Yeah.
down, you know?
Oh, that'd be awful. On top of and plus it would be like that Georgia, Florida rain where it's just hot rain.
Yeah.
Or it would rain enough to get you soaked and then stop raining. And then it would just be humid, just humidity seeping up through. Anyway.
That would lead to some really cool pictures, I think. If you got like the steam coming off the road.
Well, yeah. I mean, for some
We'd
professionals,
be miserable, but we would look so bad.
it would look cool. Yeah. Jerry actually has a question about the Sandcrawler. And is wondering if it's a prefab on something like a box van or a truck.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. It's a standard. I believe it's a van, and they have a lot of PVC piping that they put around. They build around. They drive the van there. It's like a normal vehicle, and they build the structure around it, and then it's just like a canvas stretched over it.
It also asked how difficult is it for them to slap
It's
it
actually
together?
not too bad. They've got it down pretty quick.
I think the first
couple years were a bit slower, but
yeah they were slow in the first year or two, but they got it down. Now they know what they're doing. I mean, they knew what they were doing then, but it was just like they weren't sure how fast they could
practice
do it, right?
makes perfect. You know?
Exactly. What year is this for them in the parade? Like 5 or 6, something like that.
Yeah, 5 or 6. Because I've been director now for 4
years. Yeah.
5 years. But post COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they've been around for a few years at least.
Yeah.
But they don't that much more. So speaking of cars, or vehicles, what does the road closure situation look like around the parade times? And what time does the parade start and does it end?
Okay, so the parade officially starts at 10 a.m. It's supposed to be an hour long. Depending on how efficient we are, it's usually realistically about an hour and a half. If you're trying to get downtown that day and you're driving, don't. Just don't. So officially, we start closing down the road at 9. However, APD, Atlanta Police Department, that comes out and helps us every year and are just so supportive and honestly look forward to it every year. They're always really excited because they love us so much. They kind of start shutting things down a little bit earlier, especially in the area where we do our step off, where we start the parade, which is on Peachtree Street at North Avenue. Bank of America, Plaza, like that area, just don't go there that morning. We actually have been working with TomTom, the GPS company of all places. They reached out a couple years ago to get updates on those road closures. So we're trying to reach out to more GPS companies so we can get those road closures publicly announced and programmed into everybody's GPSs, so more people know ahead of time, even the non-con people. So yeah, I know it's a bit of an inconvenience for those that are just trying to live their lives, but we're really special.
Yeah, because someone I think it was the Powell family was asking about that because they were driving in every day for con, and they wanted to, make sure that they got parking in advance before the parade route shut everything down. So
I will say, if you're coming in from outside the city into Atlanta, if
Mhm.
you're on 85, 75 and you get off on the Cortlandt Street exit,
Mhm.
you should be able to get to a parking deck or several down that road, down Cortlandt Street,
Yeah.
without hitting too much parade traffic. You'll hit some foot traffic, but there's no road closures on Cortlandt Street, so you should
Right.
be
So
okay.
it's only like Peachtree and the roads feeding into it that. So you
Yeah.
either have to. So and by the way, this is sort of true also of if you are a um uh, just a person that wants to go just to con and doesn't want to see the parade,
Mhm.
you got to be on the other side of the street before the parade starts.
Absolutely.
If you aren't on the con side of the street, you're gonna have to walk all the way around the parade in order to get to the Hilton or the assuming you're not
And
already
conversely,
in that area.
I know some people like to go to the dealer's hall
Mhm.
during the parade, because there's less people there. Sorry if I just spilled that secret. You got to get up and get across the street before we start closing it, because that 9:30 closure is not just for vehicles.
Right.
And like I said, some of the APD, they start blocking off some of those heavier traffic areas even earlier, closer to 9.
Right. So you got to be on the other side of Peachtree if you want to go to the um, dealer's room,
Dealer's hall, yeah.
dealer's hall, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Oh, that part. What's it called? Not America's. Is America's Mart?
Yeah, America's Mart.
America's Mart. Yeah,
Yeah,
America's Mart.
yeah.
Or you're gonna have to walk all the way around, which is gonna
there's not a habit trail. There's not
there's
an
no way to get over
underground
there.
way. There's no secret. If you just sneak through, no.
Now,
And
if you're
if
on the
you try
Weston, if you're at the Weston, you're okay.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
you can
because
just
we turn right before the Weston, so
yeah.
You can get to the Weston.
And Jerry points out Peachtree MARTA locks down and has been locked down in recent years. So
Absolutely.
anyone coming in via MARTA needs to come in early or get off a stopper and walk the remainder of the distance. So
Yeah, I
that's
believe for the Peachtree MARTA, you can still, the Peachtree Center one, you can still get into Peachtree Center, but you can't come out onto the street because there's too much pedestrian traffic, I believe. Don't hold me to that.
Yeah. So that's those cars. Now we also have people in cars in the parade that lead the parade out. Who might those people be this year, and are also mixed in? Who are our stars in cars this year? Before telling about the head honchos.
Stars in cars. I'm gonna save my grand marshals for last.
Okay.
I want to build up to it. Not to discount anybody I say sooner, because all of them are amazing for even wanting to be in this parade and putting up with our chaos. Thank you.
Yes.
So returning this year, we have Riding with Diversity track, Donald McGregor, who is a Marvel comic book artist. He worked on one of the first graphic novels that was ever published. He has done a lot for Black Panther and those storylines in the comics, and he is a bit up there in age, but we're very, very glad that he is willing to come back. He is a very sweet guy, and I'm very thankful for Diversity Track to bring him. Past that, we also have riding on the actual Herkimer, the actual one from the Mystery Men, one of our favorite parade groups, Razorfly. They do nerdy vehicles, much other things, but they actually have the actual picture car from Mystery Men, the actual Herkimer, and they have fixed it up and made it beautiful again, and they are bringing Bob Burden to ride on the Herkimer. Bob Burden is one of the creators of the Mystery Men. Loosely, his original ideas helped lead to the creation of Mystery Men. So we're very thankful to have Bob, and Razorfly is the one bringing him out and taking care of him, and we really appreciate them for that. And they also they bring Jurassic Park Jeeps, they bring the DeLorean every year. They're just all around great people, and I'm glad that they are coming and bringing Bob. Past that, we have our literary guest of honor for Dragon Con. This year, that's Nancy Kress. She is a science fantasy author. He did. Oh, Bob did the flaming cure. Yes, yes, he did.
Bill pointed out that he did the flaming cure. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry, go on.
No, you're good. Thank you, Bill. I don't know Bob's entire resume, so that helps. But yeah, so Nancy Kress is a sci-fi author. She's Dragon Con's official literary guest of honor, and she will be with us. And then finally, our Grand Marshals and my really bad drum roll. Have two convertible cars full of Fraggle Rock puppeteers. Fraggle Rock.
Awesome! Oh, that is so awesome!
I'm very
Wow!
excited.
Wow!
I know. All of the old people are like squeeing, and all of the young kids are like, "Who?
Whom? Whom?
Yeah.
Of whom? Actually, didn't Fraggle Rock just have a reboot?
They did. They did.
Did it go well? Because I didn't watch
I
it.
don't think so, because I didn't hear a lick
Yeah,
about it
I
afterwards.
forgot to watch this myself. So watched all of Fraggle Rock, but you know,
You can binge it.
reboot. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's fine.
Well, see that's sort of sometimes the problem is that just sits out there because I go, oh, well, I mean, I could just watch it later. I mean, I'll just wait till it's
Yeah, I'll
all
just get to
online,
it,
then I'll just
yeah.
get to it later, and just never get there.
Yeah, and then House of
Um,
Dragons comes out every week, and then Whom Art Thou?
Whom start thou, per Merlin. Yeah. So,
I
what do you
will
call
say
it?
I have one more surprise. I forgot to mention
Oh.
mention this in the pre-show, John. I'm so sorry. We actually have. It's not a starring car, but we have a new leader of the parade. So it used to be Miss Janny Wurst, who's an author. She played the bagpipes for us, and she went before the banner. She set the pace for the entire parade, and is just an absolutely delightful human being.
Mhm.
She hasn't been able to make it back the last couple years. She was
We're all getting older. Let's just put
yeah,
that.
well, it wasn't just that. It was just COVID, and then she was at risk, and then
Yeah.
it's just you can't be in crowds like that. So
Right.
I absolutely understand her stepping away, and I appreciate everything she did all of those years. And I love her more than anything. And fingers crossed, I can talk her into coming back next year for the 25th. But we'll see. But instead, this year, the Colorado captain, Matt, is going to be our new leader of the parade. He is the Captain America that's on his motorcycle most years.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And Matt actually had a really bad accident on his motorcycle 2 years ago and was in the hospital and wasn't able to ride or do his. So he does Colorado Captain as a fundraiser. He does all these charity rides, and even him coming down from Colorado to Atlanta, he
Mhm.
uses that ride to raise money for all sorts of things, but most specifically his seems to be his main cause is childhood cancer, raising money for that and helping families get the financial support they need. So he doesn't promote his own charity. He does help push the Dragon Con charity of this year, which this year is the Arthritis Foundation. We'll get to that in a second.
Mhm.
But yeah, Matt is making his first reappearance back at Dragon Con since his really bad accident. And we're happy to have him back. He's so excited, and we're so excited because he's just such a great guy, and he'll be really great. That big motorcycle just
That'll signify the beginning of the parade. That's
yeah.
awesome.
I think we've missed that the last couple years. Get
That
that
is awesome.
crowd excitement going. So it'll be nice. I'm very excited.
That is very cool. Bill asked if the Fraggle Rock reboot, which I think is called Fraggle Rock, like something to back to the Rock, back to the Rock,
Yeah.
was on Apple TV, and I believe that is correct. It's either
I don't actually
Apple
know.
TV or Max. Well, let me check real quick.
I don't know. I know Muppet Mayhem was on Disney. That's all I remember.
Yeah, that's why. Oh, that would make more sense for it to be on Disney. Well, it's a Sesame Street prop. It's a Sesame Street property. It's a Henson
Yeah.
property. So
It's not Disney. No.
Sesame Street's on Max, right?
Max.
Yeah.
I want to say.
No, it's Apple. Yeah, it is Apple TV. It's
Oh,
Apple
okay.
TV.
Well, that's why I missed it.
And it was renewed. It was renewed for a second season, which was just recently released, and that doesn't say anything about a third season. So there's two seasons I've missed.
We're out of
Okay,
time.
all right. So yeah, Fraggle Rock was on HBO, which would make sense. and maybe they just cut a different deal. Jerry points out it's Apple TV, and his daughter watches it. So yeah,
You're doing all right. You're doing good as a dad, Jerry.
Yeah.
Good job.
So how many? So we talked about the number of participants. How many parade groups are there actually?
Let me see. That one I'll have to look at real quick. I have 47 this year.
47. Wow.
So that's 47 like main groups. That doesn't count the subgroups of them that I don't count anymore.
Define a subgroup.
So as a group, we'll have gaming, but within that group, we'll have subgroups of, like Borderlands or BioShock or
general video gaming or. Yeah. I got you. So those
are too many to list, but 47 major groups, which is still very impressive.
Cool. Now you mentioned the charity. Do you guys do anything for the charity, or will they be in the parade?
They will be in the parade this year. We've been very fortunate to have the DragonCon charities represented in the parade ever since I've taken over as director. This year we have it's the Arthritis Foundation, and they will be marching. I believe they've got 30 people marching with them. Yay, Jody, I got you. Jody is the director of charity events at DragonCon. She's fantastic, and I'm thankful for everything she does. But also, when we have the charity in the parade, during the broadcast, we try to make sure that we include the text link for you to donate for the charity and where to go if you want to do any of the silent auction stuff for the charity. All of that information is given to the host of the parade, which is on both sides, the CW and the. Please stop dying, John. Drink some water, my love.
Sorry, water was the other one. So I'm muting myself.
In the meantime, so we make sure that we share all that information so that way you can still reach out and help, donate. Remember that DragonCon does match. They didn't tell me that, Jody. I love that.
So Jody points out that she believes that they will have a dance team with them. So there's that too.
Things are happening. I love that surprise.
I'm sorry.
So I don't get to watch the parade because I'm right there at the start and I'm making sure everything's coming out in order. So I don't know. And then I go back and watch it, a couple days later, and I'm like, oh my God, that's so cool. They did that.
Yeah. I mean, your job as director, besides, coordinating all these creatures throughout do you guys have a QT name for a nickname for the parade attendees for the parade participants rather?
We just call them marchers.
Marchers. Okay. Marchers. So you're coordinating all these marchers up until the start. And then I've watched you guys work, and it's absolute organized chaos. Yeah. But it's fascinating to see because the audience never really sees that. Never sees how much running around and how much chaos. And you and your volunteers deserve a huge round of applause. Absolutely. Just getting this off and you get up there early in the morning and you're working on it, and it's you've only got one shot at it, right? That's it. You've got one shot, and if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. If it, and you're having to make decisions on the fly and everything else, and it's crazy. So I just want to say, for all of us that have enjoyed the parades over the years, thank you very much to you and your team.
My team, and also shout out to the safety team. I have 3 literal truck beds full of additional volunteers from DragonCon Safety that come and help us parade morning, helping get marchers and vehicles organized. We also have the Boy Scouts of America come out, and they give out water for free to marchers. We also have the church that we stage in. They now come out in the mornings, and they have a little table with hot coffee for people.
Well, that's so nice.
It's so nice. Everyone is so supportive. Everyone's just excited to be there. Everyone's just putting everything they can into it. And I've got to give a special shout out to my second in command, Lala. She has really stepped up this year. This is her first official year as my second. Last year she was kind of off the record, unofficial, but now she has the
Isn't that
authority.
how it always happens at Dragon Con? But anyway, go on.
She just stepped up. She saw I needed help. I didn't have a second at the time, and
Mhm.
she's really stepped up this year. We made it official, and I could not have done the parade this year without her. That is 1000% true.
That's
And
great. Thank you,
I
Lala.
appreciate her. I appreciate the rest of my team. I appreciate everyone that helps with the parade, and even Lee. Lee comes and helps
Yeah.
the
Yes.
morning of the parade. I give her a bullhorn. She goes and yells at people, gets a lot of anger out, I think, but she's great. I love it all. I love you too. That was Lala.
Yeah.
I love her.
Yeah. So speaking of all of that,
Mhm.
so it seems to happen every year. Everyone wants to come over and hang out in all the audience wants to come out and hang out in the staging area, which is a big no-no. So where is the cutoff for the staging area that no one should be going past? First of all, you're destroying the
yell at
by
you.
being back there in the first place. Not everyone's in costume. They're standing around there trying to get organized, and they're not ready to go, and you're only causing more chaos upon an already chaotic situation. But so where's the staging area and the area, the place people that should just completely avoid?
There is a block on Peachtree Street between North Avenue and Linden Avenue. You'll know it because people will be yelling at you when you try to go there. Just don't. So there's two things you have to have if you're a marcher. They can't get past the gatekeeper. Lala's the gatekeeper. You can't get past her. So there's two things you have to have as a marcher in the parade. It's pretty well known what these two things are, which is a Dragon Con pass for Saturday that's valid on Saturday. So either you have the weekend pass, you have the whole convention pass, or you have a Saturday only pass. And you have to have a wristband that signifies you're a participant in the Dragon Con parade. If you don't have those two things, you are going to get yelled at. And I'm very sorry that you're going to get yelled at. But you can't be there. We have 3,500 people and 50 vehicles to get into place in a very
small time. And in a very small area too.
Yeah, one block to fit 50 cars.
Yeah, and 3,500 people.
Yeah, I mean, so there are a few people that.
Yes. You think you need your stamina and tolerance for the heat, but somebody also asked, who on earth would yell at them? I don't know, just everybody.
I don't know, maybe the safety team.
Yeah. Lala the Gray.
Lala the gatekeeper.
Yeah. You shall not pass.
You shall not pass. She won't. She will not let you pass because that is her job, and she takes her duty seriously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's just not, just people be cool. What are some of them? And just stay out of there. If you're not supposed to be there, just stay out of there. If you accidentally keep walking down the street and you will find yourself that direction and people start yelling at you, maybe just turn around.
Just turn around. You can't even see anything cool there anyways.
It looks.
Their heads aren't on, It's the magic.
It's like if at a Friday night or Saturday night in the Marriott, they turned on the sun in the it's just Marriott during the day.
Yeah.
Everyone's just standing around and can't move. It's just
no, and the parade route is a mile long. It's literally 1.1 mile long. If you can't find somewhere to stand in a mile long path, I don't know what to tell you, man. Get on a parking deck. A lot of people have been doing that in recent years. Get up high and you can look down and get some great views without those crowds around you.
Yeah, you can do that. And but there's one thing that you cannot do, which is be in the habit trail.
No.
Do not stop in the habit trail ever.
Ever.
Not just for the parade, but ever. But but specifically for the parade, do not stand around there thinking that you're going to be able to get away with a nice view in the air.
That's another way to get yelled at.
Yes. I know that there's some folks in the Westin that have a good
they do.
view. Yes. And maybe you've heard from one of the tracks that has a good view over there that maybe, if you happen to be attending one of their things, that they could look out their window. Yeah. If you're looking to bring it up, but you're gonna have to do your own research on that. The another thing too, from a safety perspective, people trying to cross the street in the middle of the parade. What's
Don't
that
do
about?
it. I will think about throwing hands. I won't really because that's
And plus, you're all the way back at the other end of the parade anyway.
yeah.
But
No,
we've
don't do it. Don't do it. One, it ruins the magic for kids.
yeah.
Let them have that moment of the parade. But if they see, you just walking by as some person,
Right.
they're gonna look at you and they're
Yeah.
gonna miss Batman going by.
Right.
Don't
And
do
if you're trying to run across the street too, you're gonna you could run into another parade, an actual marcher,
Mhm.
and or you can get hit by a car, or you can be tackled by the Atlanta PD. They
Atlanta
don't know what you're up to.
Absolutely. And all those safety people that come and help with staging, once the parade starts, they have designated groups to walk with. So they're walking down that route too. And if they see you, I don't know what to tell you. It's
Yeah,
not going to be
exactly.
good though. Oh, I love hearing you too, Katie. Hearing your text.
Hearing your text. Bill says, I'll throw hands. No, literal hands. I have a bag of them.
I'm going to have to get that bag. Catch these hands.
So some Hyatt Regency host hotels rooms have parade view.
Yeah.
Ask at check-in, but there may be an extra nightly charge for Hyatt rooms with a parade view. So
You can tell Zan's an eternal. She's got those
she's
insider
got all
tips.
the tips. She's been coming for a long time. All right, so I think we covered everything. So the thing I like to tell everyone about the parade too is that if there is it's not specifically geared towards kids, but kids get the have the most wonderment over all those people. So if you happen to find that there's a kid trying to see over your shoulder and he's standing behind you and you're like watching, maybe allow that child to be in front of you as opposed to just trying to. You'll still be able to see over the kid. It baffles my mind why people just can't be aware of what's going on and realize that, if I let this small child in front of me, they can see. I'll still be able to see over their head, even if their parent moves up with them. And I'm sure that they'll be able to be courteous too, or maybe their parent will hang back with you and you've made yourself a new friend. But the point is, let the kids see, let the kids up front, let the kids closer. That's my PSA. And also, do not cross until the final emergency vehicle has passed you. Do not even try to go onto the street. Now, I will say, once that it was usually an ambulance, right?
Yeah.
Once that ambulance, paramedic, truck, whatever it is, gets past you, do be ready to move.
Yeah.
When Santa starts coming around, do start packing up your stuff because there is.
It's like a flooding.
Jan says, think of the children. So it's a flooding. It is actually sort of amazing because I've walked at the back of the parade before yelling at people to stop crossing in front of them. But if you turn around and you look, it is literally it's actually kind of an awesome sight to see. Just all these people now on Peachtree, just marching all like in mass. We're all towards the hotel rooms or towards
it's slightly terrifying in a cool way. Yeah.
It's
if a wall of people that's slowly going back to the con. Yeah.
It's almost, if we put them all in zombie costumes or CGI zombie costumes over the top of them, it would be a scene from The Walking Dead. It's ridiculous how cool that is. But do be prepared to move once you start seeing the end of the parade because there's a lot of people right behind that.
Yeah.
So
they gotta open that road back up. Atlanta PD is not wasting time.
Yeah, they won't waste any time.
The time we need to have the parade, but as soon as it's done, they've got barriers to get pulled up. They use garbage trucks to block roads, and they've got to get all that stuff moving so the city can get back up and running. So
right, exactly. So there's that. All right, so we like to play a game with our guests, and I should have actually. See, this is what happens when Lee's not here. I don't have.
Oh, you forget to send the link.
Well, I don't have everything all set up because I didn't have the screen share set up and everything else. Anyway, so we do let our guest play. Well, obviously, we let our guest play. We also let the audience play. This season, we've been playing bracketeering because it's A, fun, and B, hold on one second. Let me remove that from there so I can actually send you the. Although, let's see. Here we go. And it moves along pretty fast, so not everyone is hanging out waiting for people to enter in a bunch of stuff. So I just sent, if you can go to jackbox.tv, Annie, I just sent in the private chat the actual room code so you can be the first one in there.
You got it? And it was Jackbox?
Jackbox.tv.
Got it.
Jackbox.tv. And as usual, if you happen to come by one of our live recordings, we will you can also participate as an audience member. And I'll hide that for a second. Okay. So now the rest of the folks can go ahead and fill in with KNQT is the code. And I guess I'll turn on the audio. That's probably a good idea. Let's do that.
Who are these people?
There you go. All right. We got some comments coming in. Zan said I would play, but I'm busy packing. I'm fine. I said I'm fine.
At least you started. I haven't even started packing.
I'm at work listening to the stream while on foot patrol. So just pretend I'm giving witty game answers, says Jerry.
You got it.
And Lala's driving. We don't need everyone's giving me all these.
Wait, why are you texting?
That's fine. We want you to play,
driving?
but you're not required to play if you're.
Lala, stop texting and driving.
Michelle
Yeah.
is MBADdy in the game, so I guess that's MBA. Shortened. So I'll give about another minute or so, and then we will get started. Where can people find more info on the parade, and also remind people when the deadline normally is for signing up for when not what the deadline is, but when the parade list opens up typically.
Absolutely. So every year, parade registration opens up February 15th. February 15th.
The day after Valentine's Day.
It has never changed in my time as director, and even prior to that, it's been February 15th a very long time. But still, in case you did not hear that, February
of 2025 will be the next one.
Exactly. So the link gets posted onto the DragonCon Parade Facebook group first. It also gets posted onto the DragonCon website now and all of DragonCon's social medias. Stop texting and driving, Lala. We need you alive.
It is possible that she's actually sitting in the passenger side, so I will just give her that. And but Jan does point out eyes on the road, safety first.
Exactly. But yeah, so it is getting posted in more places. Like I said, fingers crossed, we will have maybe a parade website next year. We're looking into that. But it is starting to fill up faster and faster. And in 2019, just before the year before COVID and our lives all got turned upside down, it did close in less than 24 hours. It filled up that quickly.
Yes.
So we have that registration open until we reach capacity. So it is first come, first serve. If you have marched before or never marched before, it does not matter. If you are thinking about wanting to be in the parade, go ahead and sign up. You can always drop out. We do have a wait list once we hit capacity, and we can always, bump somebody off that wait list. But if you think that you might want to do it, sign up. And even if you want to sign up on your own, you don't have to be a part of a group. You and your bestie can march solo. We'll put you into whatever group your costume and cosplay is best fit in. So don't worry about that. You could just be you. I know people that are their own D&D characters.
Well, and also I'll also point out that the podcast a couple of episodes ago, we had the Deadpools and the Elements on, and they have a couple of wristbands available. If you reach out to them, they can you can join them if you're a Deadpool or an Element. And to your point, the Element can be just that's more of a creative thing where it doesn't have to be, pop culture related necessarily.
Absolutely.
So.
And this year, the Periodic Table is getting a special guest with them. They probably don't know this yet, but we have 6 representatives from NASA Be marching
cool.
right with the periodic table of elements. So
Oh, that's super cool. So you get to meet an astronaut.
I get to meet NASA people. Oh, I love space. I'm
Or
so
NASA.
excited.
Are any of them astronauts or no?
I don't know. I just got the
Yeah,
list.
they work at NASA. Who cares?
To look.
That's cool.
But I don't care. They work for NASA. They're way
Yeah.
smarter than I am.
Yeah, their job is cooler than mine. So
Exactly.
it's got that.
What do I
All
do?
right.
I run a parade.
Let's get this started. But an awesome parade.
It is an awesome parade.
Let's go ahead and get this thing started here.
Let's do it.
This is bracketeering. I'm sending the topic of our first bracket to your devices now. The creepiest thing to feel when you stick your hand down a hole.
God, family-friendly
I feel
people.
like people are
I was
talking.
just about to say, is this PG?
PG, yes. PG-13. You can stretch it a little if you want, but that doesn't mean you get to use up our one F word or anything.
Join the audience and play
I'll save it
along.
for-
Any of my other podcasts,
TV
it's open
and
rain.
entering the
This
room
one,
code.
we'll try to keep it family-friendly. Zan points out her February 15th annual calendar reminders are 1, buy 50% off chocolates, and 2, register for the parade.
Brilliant. It's a great list.
And Lala points out that they're stuck in traffic. Yeah,
On the I-5. West
on
Coast
I-5. Which, yeah, surprised.
Right.
Color me shocked.
Time's running out.
Dak, we're just waiting on you. Yeah, yes, my RF word is Farfanugan. Oh,
Your answers
No,
are
you
in
wasted
the
it.
one-on-one matchups. That means it's time to sidle up to the prediction table. On your device, you'll see one of the upcoming matchups for this bracket. If you can predict the answer that will get the most votes, you could win some sizable bonus bucks. Oh, and don't forget, if you
I
think
wanted to, but they only live in Buckhead.
the predictions are in, let's dive into our first bracket.
all right. The creepiest thing to feel when you stick your hand down a hole.
Oh, it's a doozy. Use your device to vote on which you think deserves to
I
win.
don't like either of these.
Teeth or slime? The creepiest
I
thing
don't like your question.
to feel when it's not my question. Stick your hand down a hole.
Just running out the
or
clock
slime.
now.
I have no control. Much like my real life, I have no control. Somebody just likes pressing the
That win was so big you could hear it the
teeth.
next state
Teeth
over.
wins. Teeth wins. I think like 8-1.
Cha-ching for any prediction winners. Next up,
Thousands of mouth parts licking you, or another hand. The creepiest thing to feel when you stick your hand down a hole. Thousands of mouth parts licking you, or another hand.
What is wrong with you people?
Looks like thousands of mouth parts
that
licking
wasn't
you,
even close.
winning 7-1 again.
I need some Purell.
There's a fascinating. It's creepiest thing. COVID. That's what
Let's
I
see
don't
what
want to feel.
tensions are
Hand
mounting
stick
over
down
in
a
the
hole.
Omega Conference.
A poop lion or a hand? The creepiest thing to feel when you stick your hand down a hole?
Could
the
this
poop
be a
lion
blowout?
or a hand?
I'm sorry, that was so loud. Not the poop lion. Not the poop lion.
This one seems like it's over before it's
6-2
done.
currently for the poop line. And that's how it ends.
You will not be denied.
Poop lion will not be denied.
Let's
And
see.
now our last two contenders face off.
Wet mud or goo? Creepiest thing to feel when you stick your hand down a hole. Wet mud or goo? Whatever goo is. Well, I mean, I guess that's what make it really creepy is because you don't know. At least you know what wet mud is, right?
Yeah, true.
Or at least have a good idea what it is.
This one's looking over.
Goo is winning 5-2, and it pulls
That
out
victory
5-2.
will not require a recount, but I'm not allowed to talk about politics. Before we get on to round two, it's time to make another prediction.
All right, everyone's getting their notices or their notices. Their prompts or their matchups into their devices. Everyone's making their predictions now. And
The predictions are in.
There we go.
Let's jump back to our bracket for round 2.
All right, it's teeth versus thousands of mouth
This is
parts
one
licking
for the
you.
ages.
Oh,
I mean, technically, teeth is a mouth part, but I don't think it can lick you.
I think it's licking. Yeah.
I
No
mean,
one thought it would be
five-
this close.
5-2, thousands of mouth parts is winning. 6-1,
Just running out the
thousands of
clock
mouth
now.
parts. Thousands of mouth parts licking
A
you.
regular
wins.
juggernaut.
It puts the mouth parts in the basket.
One more match to determine our finals.
Poop lion or goo? What is the creepiest thing to feel when you stick your hand down a hole? Poop lion is currently winning 5-1. Goo is not even showing up for the game, really. Poop lion. There's one person feeling sorry for goo is really what it boils
This
down
one
to.
seems
there's
like
two
it's
people.
over before.
Double their score. 6-2 for Poop Lion.
No contest. And now the final face-off. What is the creepiest thing to feel when you stick your hand down a hole?
Is it the Poop Lion or thousands of mouth parts licking you?
Oh,
Mouth parts is winning 6-2, even with our Dragon Con crowd, because really,
Poop lion.
I mean, there's some appreciation for the Poop Lion.
We got our
Thousands
first
of
winner.
mouth parts licking you wins. That was, I think we do this every single time. CHR is,
Wow, what a bracket.
Chris?
Let's see how the
Is that Chris?
score shook out.
I think it's Chris. CHR is coming in first, MBA second, and is that you, Annie? Is in third.
It's
And that's Michelle in second. I believe I'm right. That is
It's
Chris.
time for the blind bracket. All you'll be given is the category. Name any animal. Enter your answers now.
Yep, it's Chris.
okay.
CHR is Chris. Name any animal. Now remember, you aren't actually answering for this category. It's a completely different category that you're answering for, but you are supplying the animal. Does not have to be real. Can be fictional. Humans are animals.
That's good.
Michelle points out that MBA is.
Let's
so
see
she's
what this
currently in
bracket is
second place, I
really
believe.
about. Animal that would make the best Pokemon.
Oh,
Time to get in those predictions.
it's appropriate.
I like this one. That's a good one.
It's appropriate for this crowd. Aren't they already based on animals? Well, I guess maybe not.
Most of them are. Some of them are based
Are
off
in.
of like
It's go time.
folklore.
There's no. What would Pikachu be based on?
He's based on a mouse. I want
Mouse?
These answers
Okay.
exchanged some harsh words at the
Weevil
press conference.
or Capybara?
I think
A
Weevil might already be a Pokemon.
Which one?
Weevil. I think there's
Weevil?
already a Pokemon based off of Weevil.
Is there one
No.
off of a Capybara? Because Capybara is currently winning 7-1.
This one's looking over.
Everyone loves a capybara.
Dominating win.
Capybara. Isn't there a song for the Capybara? Maybe it was the Wiggles that sang it.
I think so, yeah.
Next up,
Dragon or Red Ferret?
talk about a rivalry. These two competitors have been at each other's necks all week.
And if Dragon doesn't win, what kind of con is this? I'll change your name to Red Ferret Con.
Red Ferret.
The
Con?
lead
Yes,
keeps
actually.
changing hands.
Actually, I might go to that too. Animal that would make the best
Only a few
Pokemon. A
seconds left to
dragon or
vote.
Red Ferret? It's 3-4. Red Ferret winning, and Red Ferret pulls it
That
out.
battle gave me whiplash.
We are now changing our name to Red Ferret Con. All right,
Red Ferret Con.
it's all you got. You guys only have yourselves to blame.
Why don't we see what's going on the other
All that
side of
merch?
the bracket?
No longer good. Unicorn or the Cheetos cheetah? What animal would make the best Pokemon? I mean, I'm kind of voting for Cheetos right here. Even though unicorn would be cool as well. Is it
I
really
am on
based
the
off of
edge of my
unicorn?
seat.
It has to be, right?
It's probably a unicorn Pokemon by now.
Will we see
Cheetos
a
can do a
final
crossover.
push?
Yeah.
Oh, 4-4. Oh, it'd be nice to get a 4-4. Get a tap off at least. Cheetos
I did
cheetah
not
wins.
see that
5-3.
coming.
I think it's a name. I think it's Chester.
Yeah, oh, that's right. Chester Cheetah. All
Money if you guessed it.
right, who we got coming up?
It's time to round out the bracket with this vicious matchup.
Poop Lion versus Platypus.
Platypus.
Animal that would make the
It looks
best
like we have
Pokemon.
one just beginning to pull ahead.
Poop Lion kind of looks like a Pokemon, possibly.
Going back and forth.
Poop Lion versus Platypus.
It's
Platypus is
anyone's
winning
game.
5-3 right now. Oh no!
Oh.
More comebacks than Liza Minnelli.
Platypus wins.
Before we get on to round
more
2,
betting.
it's time to make another prediction.
While they make predictions, I will remind everyone, if you want to email us, you can email us at 50days at theuniquegeek.com.
The predictions are in.
50 days.
Let's
at
jump back to our
theuniquegeek.com.
bracket for
All right,
round
back to
2.
this. Capybara versus Red Ferret. Capybara is out to an early lead,
A
2-0,
clear
3-0,
favorite.
4-1, 5-1. Still Capybara winning, 5-1 over Red Ferret. We will now be called Capybaracon.
Get out of the way.
I would go to that. Sounds
Again,
really wholesome.
yeah, they're
This could be the answer
Never
to
mind. I'm not
beat,
gonna
but
say it.
let's
I don't
check out
I don't
the
wanna get in trouble.
competition.
It's your own
Uh,
podcast.
Both of these answers
Cheetos,
have
Cheetah,
seen
or
adversity
Platypus?
before.
Which animal would make the best Pokemon? Going back and forth, back and forth.
I wonder if it's a copyright issue if they go for
Real tug of war.
Michelle says she can live with Capybaracon. That's okay.
we'll make that happen.
Just
This might
Cheetos
be a photo
Cheetah.
finish.
is beating the Platypus 5-3.
It doesn't get any
That's not a
closer than that.
euphemism.
There's cash if you predicted this one.
Who would have known the Cheeto
And now
Cheetah
we
would just
finally decide
smack down a
what animal
Platypus?
would definitively make the best Pokemon.
And also the new name of the Dragon Con.
No driving.
Is it Capybaracon or Cheetos Cheetah Con? Cheetah.
It's going to be Capybaracon, brought to you by Chester.
Chester Cheetah. Capybara's winning
Just running out the
6-2.
clock now.
And time's up. Capybara wins.
That win's gotta feel good.
Oh, and that was Mighty Bill.
Yes. Good job, Bill.
Let's check out that scoreboard.
Let's see. Chris is still winning with Mighty Bill right behind, and I don't know who DEC is, but DEC is in third.
It's all been leading up to this. Time for the triple blind bracket. This bracket will change every single round. Let's start with a category. Name any color. Who
Boo!
knows what crazy
That's the
twists
score.
and
Boo.
turns this bracket will take?
I don't like this one because it's too generic.
Dude.
Think of an exotic color, people.
Yeah. Don't just give me green. What kind of green? You know?
Elvish green,
Paint me a
troll
picture
green,
of the color name.
dragon
Let's
green,
see what we're dealing with.
green dragon.
Sweetest
By the way,
color
that's
for
the
a
color of
wedding
this year's dragon,
tux. Time to get in those predictions.
as seen on the town hall.
All cash is doubled this round.
And I think that
Does this
Zan-
count?
Broke that. She was given permission to tell us about last on podcast she was on. It's green.
The predictions are in. Up first,
Sweetest color for a wedding tux. All right. Vermilion or lavender? Sweetest color for a wedding tux. Vermilion
voters are being loud
or
and clear on this one.
lavender? Vermilion is currently winning 5-1 over lavender, 5-2 over lavender. Does lavender make a comeback in the last 5 seconds?
This
Green,
one seems like
2, 1. Ah,
it's
Vermilion.
ran away with that one.
71% of the vote. Sweetest color for a wedding tux?
Moving on to our next matchup.
Rainbow or midnight blue?
This matchup was bound to
Midnight
happen.
blue. Rainbow or Midnight Blue? Rainbow is, well, I can't tell who's winning. It's going back and forth.
The
No one can make up
struggle
their
is
mind.
real.
5-3, 6-2 for Rainbow.
This
Sweetest
one's
color
looking
for a
over.
wedding tux, if you believe in such a thing.
Crunch, crunch.
Rainbow!
smash.
Rainbow wins.
Some players just came up empty.
It's an antiquated system.
Let's see what's happening over on the other side of the bracket.
Sweetest color for wedding tux, says the guy who's been married for 29 years. Magenta or purple? Magenta or
I'm seeing
purple?
some early
Magenta
traction here.
is winning 4-3, 5-3. Sweetest color for wedding tux,
An
is it
upset in the
magenta? It
making.
certainly looks like it. 5-3 over purple. 6-2 over purple.
Just
Wow.
running out the clock now.
Oh, Michelle's a little shocked that Annie didn't pick
That
rainbow.
was a slaughter.
I'm sorry. I love rainbow. It's my favorite color.
So who won that one? Oh, magenta. Magenta won.
And now our last two contenders
Pink,
face off.
The artist, or Vanta Black.
Vanta
Pink or
Black.
Vanta Black, which is like the, it's like the dark, it's like the black is black, right? It's like,
Yeah, it's the darkest
Wow.
pigment created.
yeah, because it was it in Atlanta or was it in,
They're on
It's in
fire.
Chicago, I want to say.
where you go in that room where it's just all painted in that color?
Yeah.
It is, I think
Time
maybe
for a
it's in
title
Seattle. Maybe that's not in
change.
Seattle.
The color that best describes the feeling after pooping.
What is with these
I
questions?
know.
The color that best describes that feeling after pooping. Rainbow.
If you're a unicorn, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
and
jump back to our bracket
I
for
went into
round two.
I went into that and it was. It's
Folks, I've been
mind blowing
waiting
that
for this
this is
matchup
something
my
so
entire
dark.
career.
Anyway, Vermilion or Rainbow. Rainbow is currently winning. That color that best describes that feeling after using the restroom. Pooping. Everybody poops. That's not a bad word.
This one seems
Rainbow
like
or
it's over
vermilion?
before it's done.
Or relief. I don't think relief is a color, Chris.
That was ugly.
Rainbow wins. No one's really surprised though.
Yeah.
Well, I guess Joe was surprised.
We're just one match away from our finals.
Okay, so Vanta Black or Magenta?
Two
That
Titans
color
squaring
that
off.
best describes the feeling after pooping. I feel like Vanta Black might be the color before.
I think either color, you need to go see a doctor.
See a doctor immediately.
We're in the home stretch.
You might actually take Vanta Black for if you're having problems.
Cancel my meetings. We've got a winner.
Look, if you're Vanta blacking out, you need help, says Michelle.
Money, if you guessed it.
All right, Vanta Black won that round. All right, what is the
One more
final
change.
change here?
The scariest color for the glowing eyes under your bed. I hope your answers still make sense. And now the
Actually,
definitive matchup.
These couldn't be two more opposite colors. Rainbow and Vanta Black.
Both terrifying for very different
All colors
reasons.
or no color at all. Vanta Black just sucks the rainbow into it. Rainbow's currently winning 5-3. And by the way, I can see that.
That's a winner.
Scariest color for the glowing eyes from the bed being rainbow.
I am the greatest.
Anish Kapoor is not
But
allowed
did
to
any
use
of
Vanta
that
Black.
That is correct.
Single
Literally
standards.
everybody else can use it on the planet, but he's a butthead.
Mighty Bill's in third, Ann's in second, and Chris wins. Congratulations, Ann, in second place. Silver.
Round of applause for everyone.
Yes, very good. All right, Ann, let's let everyone know where they can find more info on the parade and if they need to, where they need to go if they are in the parade to get their stuff.
Wristbands.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about that.
See, if you signed up with a group, go find your group leader. They
Yes,
have
please.
everything you need. I don't have it. If you signed up on your own, or if you are the group leader, please come to the Cortland Grand Hotel formerly Sheraton, shout out.
Yeah.
We are just outside of on-site registration, right next to Disability Services. We're there most of the day, Thursday and Friday. We leave the table about 6 o'clock, or about 6:30 on Friday night. After that, you're not getting your wristband. I'm very sorry. You're just not. It's very hard for me to give you your wristbands the morning of the parade because I don't have time to double check your information and also, stage a parade.
There is a lot of things going on. Down
Thank
there.
you for all your work in marching and all your organizations, Ann. I appreciate it.
Yeah, Zan says thank you for all your amazing work, Ann. And Lala says big nope on the trying to get your. And I know that it happens every year, regardless, right? Mm-hmm. Everyone's just trying to. Oh, I forgot.
And there is a small asterisk to that rule, mm-hmm. which is people that have Saturday only badges.
Mm-hmm.
I understand sometimes you guys can't get downtown beforehand. That's why you have a Saturday only badge. That's totally fine and understandable. You are allowed to come to the staging area without your wristband. However, you must stop. No, thank you, Zan. You must stop and see our newest link in the chain to make sure that people are where they're supposed to be. It is a volunteer from safety. Their name is Merlin. They will be double checking that you have already bought your Saturday pass and that you are in fact registered to be in the parade. If your group leader is the one that signed you up, they need to be there with you as well. But you still have to have already purchased your Saturday badge. Because we understand you can't get down to the Cortland Grand and get back to staging in time, especially with all the closures and crowd. So you have to come find Merlin with safety. He's going to be right outside the gate. Yay, thanks, Chris. He's going to be right outside the gate with the marchers. You will not be able to get past gatekeeper Lala. She will make sure of that. But check in with Merlin, and if you are who you say you are, then you'll be good to go. We'll make sure that you get your wristband. But after the parade, you'll need to go directly to the Cortland Grand to get your actual Dragon Con badge. We do not give you those.
Right.
Past that, if you have any questions, the fastest way to get an answer is to ask it on the Dragon Con Parade Facebook group. A lot of long-term marchers are on there. They can help with answers, and 99% of the time they are accurate. But even then, if you can't reach us there, if you're not on Facebook, you can always email us directly at dc_parade@dragoncon.org.
And so if you need that info and you've just missed it, it'll also be linked in the inside of the post that this is on over at the Unique Geek, so you can head over there. Or again, just you can go to the Dragon Con. Is there someplace underneath the Dragon Con that's for participate maybe?
Yeah, if you go to the Dragon Con website directly, there is I think it's things to do.
Oh, it's probably under things to do. You're right. Yeah. So
and
parade.
That'll send the email directly to us.
Parade, and there is a contact, and there is also the parade on Facebook link there too. Mm-hmm. So you've got lots of ways to get a hold of them. Lala points out it is under things to do on the dragoncon.org.
.org, not .com.
And Lala says thank you to Merlin.
Don't thank him yet. Let's let him do his job, okay?
Yeah. First do your Merlin. What's up with you? What are you trying to get credit for already? Do your job.
Pretty sure he's watching this, so thanks, buddy.
So there you go. So those are the ways to get it done. All right, Lee, wherever you are, well, I think you're at home asleep right now. Please, I hope you are feeling better soon. And we're thinking about you. And Annie, thank you again for everything you and your team does for the Dragon Con Parade. It is, it's a blast every year. You've just the smiles on those kids' faces is worth everything. So
absolutely.
And Jody says, so happy to see my rainbow sister. All right. So until next time, for Annie and Lee, who is somewhere, she's around still. This is John saying until next time, peace. And look for the ending. There it is. Okay.
This was a production of The Unique Geek. Call our comment line at 8133210TUG. That's 81332108884. Email us at thegeeks@theuniquegeek.com or 50days@theuniquegeek.com. Follow The Unique Geek on Facebook and Twitter. This podcast is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial Share-alike license.
Your hair is awesome, by the way.
Thank you.
Meant to say that earlier. We've had hair talk at the end of these podcasts the last couple of times, so it looks awesome. Is that the color it's going to be for Dragon Con, or is
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Fingers crossed I have time to get it refreshed, but if not, it's still
It's
rainbow.
very,
and
very
it's purple underneath, so
it's what?
either way, it's still Dragon Con fitting.
Oh, there you go. All right. Well, see you guys later. Bye.
Bye, John.
Chris has awesome hair, Annie.
Thanks. All right, bye.